That happens to be more votes than any other legislative candidate has ever received in the history of the state of Florida.
Liz Ryan asked newly elected State Senator Tom Leek about the 237,000 votes that put him in Florida's history books.
He attributes that tidal wave of votes, in part, to the name recognition he got in the primary in the race for the State Senate District 7 seat against former Sheriff David Shore.
The campaign that was run against me boosted my name ID to 94% within the district and probably got me some crossover votes.
The money spent on that race smashed Florida's records.
That's a record I wish I didn't have, but yes, it turned out to be the most expensive legislative race in the history of the state of Florida, too. The amount was somewhere in the $22 million range, between $21 million and $22 million was spent by all parties on this seat.
Does he think that Trump being on the ballot, bringing Republicans to the polls, helped him achieve that astronomical number?
Oh, 100%. But, all of Florida came out to vote for Trump. What is different in St. Johns County and Flagler County and Putnam and Volusia is the turnout was record high. I mean, even when compared to a big turnout across the state, it was uncommonly high for St. Johns County and Flagler County.
More from my chat with State Senator Tom Leek tomorrow. I'll ask him what he thinks about President-elect Trump appointing so many people from Florida to his cabinet. Will he fill any of those vacancies? And how he's laying out the foundation for his first term as state senator. For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Liz Ryan.
Good morning, Flagler County. I'm Rich Carroll. You're listening to Flagler's Morning News on Thursday, November 14th.
This is Flagler County Sheriff Rick Staley. Over the Veterans Day weekend, deputies handled 1,023 calls for service, conducted 186 traffic stops, and 21 individuals got to visit the Green Roof Inn when they were arrested.
Last weekend was an eventful one for the Flagler County Sheriff's Office. Sheriff Rick Staley brings you this week's report.
Two of the most notable arrests. One occurred on Shadow Lane in the Ormond Beach area of Flagler County when an individual that had been released from the Volusia County Jail less than 24 hours earlier went to a relative's home, breaking into it, and then acted bizarre. The family members locked themselves in a room for protection and called the sheriff's office. Deputies arrived on scene, and initially the suspect refused to come out. But finally, deputies went in and arrested him, even though he attempted to spit on deputies and was kicking and thrashing and fighting them. He was taken to the Green Roof Inn on multiple charges. Another individual was arrested for leaving the scene of two separate crashes. When he fled, deputies were able to locate him, and as deputies approached the house where he fled to, he fled on foot again. A perimeter was set up by responding deputies, and with the help of watchful citizens, he was quickly apprehended. This individual was charged with 2 counts of leaving the scene of a crash involving property damage, obstruction without violence, and violation of probation. He was previously arrested and on probation for aggravated battery. Busy weekend, but our deputies once again did an outstanding job.
This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota US 1 St. Augustine, here to wow you.
The use of industry certifications, students coming out of high school with industry certifications in hand, regardless of what it is, they don't need to go. Not everybody needs to go to college.
Colleen Conklin is reflecting on her 24 years serving local students.
Conklin says with all of the opportunities to learn STEM fields in high school, many students are choosing to get their training there so they can immediately enter the workforce.
We're hearing from partners like SpaceX and Blue Origin and Northrop Grumman. They need technicians, right? So a kid coming out of school with just some experience, they will pay for them to go to school. Just get your foot in the door and we'll pay for you to go to school. They need thousands of technicians.
Conklin says the more exposure kids get in school to STEM programming, the more opportunities can open up for them.
Let them try everything, even if they're kicking and screaming, because just get them immersed in something. And kids don't know what they don't know. They really, truly don't know what they don't know. So they may think, I'm not doing robotics. I don't want to do robotics. But then when they get immersed in it, they're like, a whole new world opens up. So yeah, I think the younger they are, while parents still have influence, expose them to all of those opportunities, whether it's a summer camp or an after-school group or whatever it might be.
Tomorrow, Conklin will reflect on how the COVID pandemic impacted local schools, staff, and students. I'm Daryl Moody, reporting.
And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Rich Carroll.